Thank you. Over to you, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you, Sharma sir. Thank you very much for joining us. So now the coaches, I want to tell you about a little bit about Noha. Noha is a vice president of a rhythmic technical committee in Federation, FIG, from last 12 years. She was in technical committee and she was in superior jury like in 2009 to 2015 in the World Championship. So today Noha is with us. So Noha, I think we can start our sessions from now. So if please request to you, please guide, say a few words before start our session. Then we will start our session.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be with you and to share my knowledge. As I've been introduced, I'm Vice President of the International Rhythmic Gymnastics Technical Committee. And I've been an athlete, I've been a judge on the national level and national team and international level. And I feel the gymnasts and I feel the coaches because I coached. And now being superior jury and putting the code of points, I understand the tricks and the feelings that emerge between the gymnast coaches and judges. So let's open the discussion and give me your questions, and I will be very happy to answer you and share some slides with you.
Thank you, Noha. So Noha, we'll take our questions. So I'll take the questions sequentially, which I get from the coaches. So the first question is, there are many hyperextensions and unnatural movement in RG, which might affect gymnasts in their post-competitive life. As we have seen in artistic gymnastics, the movements which were too risky were removed from the code of point. So the question is whether the technical committee has researched about the long-term effect on the body due to those hyperextension movements, which are found dangerous. Are there some protective measures taken by technical committee?
This is a very good question, and let me tell you. We did some measures with the medical commission and we studied some elements, and there were many different opinions, and some for them this is dangerous, some for them this is not dangerous. And if you find the code of points currently, there are many removed body difficulties which were in the code of time in the time of Kabaiva and earlier. It was removed. But I suggest this is not the way that we think about it. Every coach has to know the possibility of every gymnast. And when you know the possibility of every gymnast, then the coach has to be smart which element she can put for her. Because if she can put an element that she cannot perform because of her body limitations, she's not flexible in the back, but she's flexible in the leg, and she puts her a body difficulty with so much flexibility in the back, then she is not helping her to get the score, and she is damaging her on the long term. But if the girl is flexible by nature, then there is no harm for her. So the coach has to be smart in the selection of the body difficulties.
Yes, Noha, thank you. I agree with you about this. And the next question is it okay to count AD which satisfy the criteria, but there is no risk of apparatus loss?
It's not about the apparatus loss only, it's about new technical apparatus hand and body connections. So it can be very simple, but it's very creative. So it can be only criteria, but it has nothing interesting in it. So we are working on the new code of points to have a more definition, precise definition. But currently, it's not only about the criteria.
Okay, Noha. And the third question is, during balance, the apparatus movement should start after reaching the final position or as soon as the balance is initiated?
Okay. Can I share with you, because I know the coming questions are all technical questions, yes?
Yes, please, yes.
Okay, can I share with you some slides?
Please, no. from share screen, you can share.
Yeah.
Did you find Noha? There is one green, there is one
I
green
found
button, share screen.
Yes.
And just click on share screen. Then you found a desktop on your computer and click on desktop and share.
I cannot find my desktop. Sorry for the lost time for this, but the common questions when we spoke earlier were all technical questions. So I tried to sum up all the questions that came technical. And I want the coaches, when they think about the balances or the jumps, what's the deviations? Are they small or medium or large? We have to think. We cannot measure them because we don't have a ruler with us. So are they small, medium, or large? So what is small? A small is a 10% or less. So for you, what is this? It's a small one. You see the difference between the head and the leg? She's not touching. So this is a small deviation. So we will take a penalty of 0.1, but the body difficulty will be valid. Actually, she has to touch, but this is the BD will be valid. Okay. And then I was asked in another question about the kip.
Yes.
Can you see her leg one up and then first down? And then you see they're not together in the air. There is one leg going up and then the second one. And then one going up and then, this is very small. Okay, so this is, the split is 0.1 for deviation and the kip is 0.1. Okay, for the second jump. But the body difficulties are valid. Okay, what is a medium deviation? It's between 11 to 20 degrees. So this is medium deviation. This is an example of a medium deviation. You saw her back leg. Her back leg is 20 degrees. So it's a 0.3 technical fault, but the body difficulty is valid. What about the large deviation? It's more than 20 degrees. When you cannot see the shape clearly, when you can say that this is a really bad shape. So there is no shape. She was like stepping, but there is no shape of a jump. So this is a technical fault of 0.5 and the body difficulty is not valid.
Noha, can you please stop on the bad positions where she will take bad positions where she got 0.5 penalized? Then it will be very clear to the coaches and judges.
It's not back, it's the legs. She didn't open her legs. You can see her legs. You see? If we go, there is no split.
Okay.
She didn't, it was like a kip. It was one step to the other step. If we go back again, one leg, second leg. There was no split position.
Okay, Noha, thank you for explanation.
Okay, what is the large kip? Because one of the questions, what is a large kip? The kip is like when we say it's the seesaw. The no, this when they play in the kindergarten, the seesaw. So the jump, two legs must be in the air together. And her legs were not in the air together. One leg, then the second leg. So this is a large kip. So the body difficulty is not valid. She had back bend 0.1, she almost touched, but the kip did not validate the body difficulty. This is an example where you can see by photos, here she's touching, the jump is perfect. So execution, there is no penalty. Here, she has a split, but she has to touch because this is a Zaripova jump. The main thing is the back leg, that there must be a split between the both legs and there must be touching of the second leg to the head. So this is big deviation. So it's a 0.5 penalty.
And element not considered.
Element is not considered, yes. What about the balance? Here, if we see this example, she had an 18, if we measure it by ruler, she has an 18 degrees. Penalty is an execution technical fault 0.3. Body segments for the knee 0.1, but the body difficulty is okay because she could identify the shape. When we said, can you see the shape? Yes, as a judge, I could see the shape. She had the stop position. I can see that this is the balance that she wanted to do. Okay, the perfect shape was not the best, but I could see it. So technical fault judges will make the penalties and the body difficulty will give full value. Okay, what about this balance? Definitely she has a split position, okay? But her shoulders are too much high. It's not at the horizontal level as it should be. And if we measure it, it's 49 degrees. So it's more than the 20%. So we say it's a large deviation. So body difficulty is not valid. Another question that you can ask, can we give it a normal balance side? No, you cannot change the values of the body difficulties and give something else. So you only judge what you see and you cannot change values to another body difficulty. Okay, what about this? She didn't have the 1 second to hold the balance. So shape was not held for minimum 1 second, 0.3. What is the other problem in this balance? She performed her apparatus handling before she takes the position of the balance. So she transformed from one arm to the other arm before she stands in the position of the balance. So the body difficulty is not valid. And I think there is one question that you wanted to ask me. How can we validate in which position the balances will be valid when taken the position? As long as I see the position of the balance and apparatus handling is done during the shape, the body difficulty is valid. But if apparatus handling is done before or after, you cannot give the value of the body difficulty. So let's check it again and check when did she do her apparatus handling. You see, when she went back with her body, she already had the hoop in her right hand, which is not the body difficulty that she wanted to perform. Okay, what about this balance? Can we validate those two shapes?
1 and 2.
Yes, we can. Although she had a small imbalance in the second shape, but she had the apparatus handling for both, and you could identify them. So you technical fault judges will take the penalty for the imbalance on the leg for 0-1, but she will have the body difficulty. Okay. Another questions that were received was about fouetté balances, about the hops without traveling and hops with traveling. Could you see the interruption between the three shapes? She put down her leg between the three shapes. One more time. Here. In this case, the balance is not valid because she interrupted the three shapes. Okay, one of the questions, she doesn't have a stop position in one of the shapes. Balance fouetté does not need stop positions in any of the shapes because it's a dynamic balance. So you don't need to keep the shapes. You need to be in an accent, but you don't need to stop the position. Okay, what about this example? It's a very nice three shapes, but what about her apparatus handling? She doesn't have any apparatus handling during the balance fouetté. So the BD cannot be validated. Why? She catches the ball before she starts the BD. It's before. And during the three shapes, she doesn't do anything with the ball, not even one single bounce. Okay, another question, does she need in every shape apparatus handling? No, because it's one body difficulty, so she doesn't need apparatus handling in every shape, just one is enough. Pivots. Nobody asked me questions about pivots, but I thought that since we spoke about jumps and balances, I should go through also the pivots. In pivots also, we have the deviations. And the shape is have to be a minimum of 360. So we counted once we see her leg started to take the shape. The preparation is okay, but I need to see the shape in the first 360 degrees. So this one, she didn't have a 360 degrees and she had medium deviation. So the body difficulty is not valid. Why? Because it has to have a 360 degrees. You cannot validate a 180 degree. Okay, what about this one? We would say it's a wow, it's a very nice pivot. She touched, she had no deviation, nothing. But she doesn't have any work with the clubs. She just holds them. And they're not in the unstable position, like in the code of point pictures. So, we see. So those are the questions that I gathered. And if you want to ask me more questions, let me know.
Yes, some questions are general. So I will ask some two questions. Okay, the questions for Tokyo Olympics, share of RG was being cut down. Number of participants and number medal sets were reduced. Will you throw some light on this fact?
Actually, in Tokyo, we didn't reduce number of gymnasts and participants. We have 14 groups and we have more individuals. So actually we didn't reduce in Olympic Games Tokyo any number of gymnasts. We have more groups in Tokyo. So I hope rhythmics doesn't go to be reduced, but we are not reduced until now.
Okay, Noha, okay. And the question is, FIG age group development program is rolled out in last year. Is FIG planning to conduct international RG age group competitions as in other discipline? Is it possible for FIG to send an, experts in RG age group development program to train Indian coaches?
I think in age groups, yes, they send. If you ask FIG, they send to work with the coaches, development programs, they send. Competitions, I don't know if it's available or not, because I know that they are restructuring the whole education program now in the FIG, but I'm not sure about competitions.
Okay, Noha. And currently RG evaluation system is partially subjective. So what is the possibility in the near future that an RG can also have a computerized judging system so that a gymnast can avail of clear objective judgment?
It's a good question, and I would like to speak more in this part. In two ways. First, we are studying the computerized system, and I've been in Japan in one competition to test the computerized system by cycle, and for execution artistry it's going very well. Now the problem is the de-judging and how to find the difficulty and the risks and the values and like this, but we are working on it. Maybe it's not in the next coming cycle, but definitely it will be computerized. So it will be shown what is the judge's work automatic on the screens, and there will be no kind of, how can I say, cheating while judging. So this, we are working on it. It's a program and we want to do it. Subjectivity, this is I want to address, is the most important thing.
Yes.
We are working on the code of points, and we are trying to make balance between all the difficulties. And I've learned in how many years in FIG? 12 years in FIG, and with Madame Abrosini before, when I was a judge, that there is nothing called a perfect code. Nobody is always satisfied from the code. Every time somebody wants something new, something different, something that suits them better, and there is always something in the code. So I learned this very well.
Yes, it must be.
Yeah, but if we think as gymnasts on the carpet, as our daughters at home, as our nephews and nieces, as our kids, as our own kids, and think how much they suffer and train at home, how many hours they spend. For this 1.5 minutes, they are working on the carpet to show their efforts. And just because they love the sport. So we need to give them the right and fair score for them, whether on the national level or on the international level. Nobody wants to harm a child for another child. And this all comes from us as humans. So if we want to be fair, we have to think of them as our kids. Nobody wants to harm his kid. So the code is there, you can apply it as you saw, large, medium, and small deviations, or you can close your eyes. So it's up to you how you want to apply the code and say it's subjective or not subjective. So it's your personality in the end, like a judge, how you want to do it, but don't blame the code of points all the time. It's you as a person who applies the law, like a judge in the court.
Yes, Noha. Actually, I want to ask personally these questions, but you give briefly explanation of this because I seen lot of time, not in international because I never attended any RG international competitions, but in our country, I saw a lot of competitions where the deviation of D1 and D2 is more than 2 points, more than 1.5 points. And we have to consider that if like technical committee prepare any system like this, so we can improve our performance and we can save our child.
Yeah. But judges also have to do it from their core, and they have to see why they did this. Maybe sometimes it happens, human error. And then when they discuss together, they understand they missed something or they didn't evaluate something. Nobody is perfect all the time.
Thank you, Noha, for this. And the next question is, from the beginning, international RG results are very much dominated by one specific country. So this is not the case other discipline. Is this situation conducive for RG development?
Of course, it's not good for our sport to be dominated by 1 or 3 or 4 countries. Of course, it's not good. And we are working that more countries to come into even finals. Now in the last World Championships, we had more. And we had more from Pan American, but we need more from your continent. We need more from Africa. We need more from more countries in medals. But this only comes when we all work and find the best in every gymnast and work on it from the beginning. Of course, the other countries are working very hard and they're training all their lifetime in the gym. We have different lifestyles, different cultures, different, like now they are training and we are in quarantine. They didn't stop training. So it's different lifestyles. But we have to reduce the gaps, slowly reduce the gaps until we find this moment.
Yes, no, I'm agree with you. And one question related to Kodo point. In Kodo point, lot of emphasis is given to the idea of artistry, but the maximum deduction is only up to 0.7.
It's a good question, I agree, but when we made other code of points until 2 points, no judge took the 2 points out from any gymnast. No judge. So we said, okay, let's do 0.7. Maybe the judge will have the courage to take out this 0.7. But we had before 2 points in the code before, but they didn't apply it. And it was like rubbish code of points because judges were sorry for the gymnast. Oh, this is the bread of the coach. She takes money for her salary. And if we say that her composition is bad, then she will not work as a coach again. No, we cannot do this. Okay, how can we do it? So we reduce the penalties. So maybe the coach, when she takes a 0.7, she understands that this maybe only one routine. Maybe not all the 4 routines are bad. Maybe just one routine is bad. And it's not on the medium and low level countries, no. There are some top countries, finalists in the World Championships where they have boom, 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 boom routines and musics where you cannot tolerate it. If you tell this coach that this exercise is really bad and you have the courage to say it, then the coach will start to understand the concept. Just 107.
Yes, nice explanation, Noha. Thank you very much. And the next question is, if post-competitive review on personal video recording is sent to non-attending FIG judge, then viewpoint expressed by FIG judge is often used to pressurize the competition's officials. In such case, it is accepted that the FIG should give some guidelines to all FIG judges in order to avoid any kind of this situation.
I don't understand the question very much, but
okay. I will explain another time. Maybe okay. I saw in several competitions, a few judges send the video recording to FIG judges.
Okay.
So FIG committee has to like convey any message to that judges. Please don't do like this or do like this, like this.
Okay. there are many international tournaments in under FIG umbrella or not FIG, but FIG is responsible for World Cups to send technical delegates, Challenge Cups to send technical delegates, and this is where the post review happens. And if something happens bad, this is really, really not good, and we take actions in it. What happens when the competition is run and it is not under the FIG? If we receive a video and official letter from an official federation, not persons, then we review the video and we send letters to the judges who made mistakes, and we inform them that we reviewed this video and the score was not correct and you should take attention for the next time. And if it happens more than time, then the president of the technical committee takes further action. But this is the case. The only thing is not through judges, it's not through parents. FIG only works with national federations.
Okay, and maybe in a good understanding, Noha, some judges, maybe someone have a good understanding with any judge, and maybe for the personally opinion they can send. Is it possible or not? For the personal opinion, not to change the score for the competition, just for the information. So can they do
another judge, like, yes, to take opinions on, yes, a friendly basis? Yes.
Yes, actually this is the question. And yes, the question is, at different competitions, it has been observed that FIG officials have different opinion on technical points. So therefore, it is expected that there should be same explanations and reasoning about the above for all competitions without any changes.
Actually, this is not 100% accurate, the question, because in last World Championships, World Cups, everything, all technical delegates, all TC members, they prepare the same presentations. We don't speak different language. We have one presentation for the whole TC, and we play it in all World Cups and all Challenge Cups, so everybody, all judges listen the same thing. And I think it was 2 weeks ago, we published on FIG website the presentations from the World Championships. So the whole world can have access to it. Individual difficulty, technical faults and difficulty, artistry for individuals and group, and difficulty groups. So the whole world can see what the TC wants to say.
Thank you, Noha. Thank you for this. And I think almost questions you cleared and explained very well. And now I finished all the questions regarding this. So now we are moving on the another session. So Noha, you want to say something about the COVID periods, what the gymnasts have to do at home?
Yes. I know it's a very, very difficult situation now with staying at home and pushing the gymnasts to train, and it's very boring and they don't want to come to trainings online and they feel stuck, and you cannot do everything online with them and push them and motivate them. We came up with different ideas, and you can do the same. Training online can be different. One time you can do it like a creative fitness for the gymnasts. You tell them, I need to do this with you. You have 10 minutes on your own to send me or to show me your own 2 or 3 minutes fitness. So the girl will be so excited to show to her coach what she learned and what she wants to do, and show her what she wanted to do. Another training, you can say, well, today is a dance training. I will send you one music and you will do a dance on this music. I don't want any work with apparatus. Why are you doing this dance? Because you are working on artistry. You are working on her moves, her body expressions. And then you will tell her, but in this part, the music was so high. You needed to work on this. In this part, you needed to make some body expressions. So you are working on artistry. without the gymnast feeling that she is doing that. How are you going to make her work on apparatus? For example, I ask the coaches every week to put a video of 2 ADs. 2 ADs for hoop, 2 ADs for ball, 2 ADs for clubs, 2 ADs for ribbon, and depends on the age of the gymnast, of course. Maybe some have rope and some don't have clubs or ribbon. And we make a challenge between the teams, okay? And we ask them to perform 1 AD for each apparatus. And the winner of this challenge of the week, she will post her video on Instagram or Facebook and tag 3 of her friends. Of course, all girls became motivated to win the team and win another team and be the winner of this, to tag and put her video, because they're not allowed to put the video without winning. So it became a challenge. And after 3 weeks, we combined the whole 3 weeks, like 1 month of training, so we can make sure that they trained on everything and not only 1, 1, 1, 1. So when you come back to the gym, they have learned more new skills with apparatus. Okay, for example, we made one challenge of how to draw the best leotard.
Okay.
So the girls were creative how to draw the best leotard for themselves. So it's not only about working and training and pushing them, no, but also psychological with them, and then how she colored it and how she wants this for this music. We also asked them to start sending musics for their new routines. Why? Maybe we're staying until the end of the year, but then the coach will start to listen with her. And maybe, for example, one of the girls that was there she was 11 years old. And she brought for us Mozart music. And for us, it was like, why? Why do you want to play on this music? I love it. I want to play on it. But it's not your age, especially for ribbon. It's not possible for you to play on ribbon 11 years on Mozart. So she said, okay, I understand, but please don't let anyone in the gym to work on it. And keep it for me when I grow up. So you see how she, from inside, she doesn't want any of her colleagues to work on it. And she wants to play on it. It's her target when she grows up. So the coach will understand her mentality, what she wants. So you have to find the ways to make the training interesting for them, so you don't lose what you built all this time, and start from the very beginning with them when you come back from the COVID. The main thing now when you are training is pushing on their flexibility, working with the fitness because you don't have routines to do it, and give them small work with the apparatus because there is no possibility for large throws and like this, so you can keep the technique of the apparatus, but nothing that you can do more than this, only of motivation. Only also try to keep the weight, maybe 1 or 2 kilos up, but don't stress on the weight because they cannot do anything except sit, train, watch television and eat. Sit, train, watch television and eat. And this is what they can do all day. So what you can do is ask them to ride the bicycles. I don't know, in India you can go out in the arena around you or something? No. Okay, so then they cannot ride bicycles. Ask them, for example, to open the YouTube and do some Zumba dance. Or you as a coach, okay, one training today, we're going to do like her, 1 Zumba dance. So when they're staying at home, maybe one will be interested and she will start to move around. So this is my, my wishes for you for working with the COVID and the gymnasts. It's very important to keep their psychology high in this time and not being distant from them.
Thank you, Noha. Thank you very much for explaining everything in a very simple way. And I want to tell you, Noha, that I organize already the sessions on Zoom for the kids, for my high-level athletes, and for the new beginners also, in which I include Zumba, aerobics, and the physical activities in the morning sessions and the evening sessions. I just go with the specific little bit body positions and everything. So that was great idea given by you for the coaches. And on the behalf of Sports Authority of India, I again thank you, Noha. Thank you very much, because you did a great help, like during this COVID periods, what we have to do, what we need to do, and you explained each and every questions very well in a very different manner. So hope it will be help to our coaches and judges also.
Thank you so much.
Maybe I will ask someone if anybody have any questions. The last question.
Yes. Manoj, I may be.
Sir,
I just want to know, Noha, can you guide us to develop a rhythmic gymnastic in India?
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, can you guide us to develop rhythmic gymnastic in India?
Well, you have to make a lot of this and share it on many social media and show your gymnasts, make television interviews and show your gymnasts in television interviews. Gymnasts, not coaches, not judges. Show the gymnasts love, young gymnasts. The situation that we had in Egypt like 25 years ago or 20 years ago, but it only became when we started to show the public or the people the understanding of gymnastics. It doesn't harm the girls to work gymnastics, and more interviews coming to the competition to cover the competition nationally. We invited the television channels to cover it for 1 or 2 hours. So the people started to understand what is gymnastics in general. And I think if you make shows, if you're opening something, and my coach used to do this with me because in my time, it was not so popular game. And for example, opening of a library, we used to go and make a show. Opening of stadium, we used to go to make a show. So it only started by showing what is gymnastics. And I think you can do this by showing what is gymnastics, and by young gymnasts, which is 7, 8, 6 years. This will help you to develop gymnastics.
Actually, Noha, this is the process. How do we develop? But my like Pathania sir is asking, can you please help India to develop RG in future? The question is this.
Myself.
Noha, that is an administrative job. But I want some development program for coaches. They should implement in a field from basic level to higher level.
Yes, of course. We can have a development program and give them education in the field, how to work, how to learn. This is, yes, of course, this we can do.
Thank you, Noha. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So again, it was a nice session and nice interaction with you, Noha, and very big thanks to you for coming on the Zoom with us on my request. So on the behalf of Sports Authority of India, I again thank you very much to you and Egypt Gymnastics Federations, because the Egypt Gymnastics Federation providing me a lot of sessions in the terms of Regab and Shadi Mustafa. They helped me a lot to conduct these sessions. And they, the people are really good and knowledgeable, and they share very good knowledge with our coaches. So I thank you again and again, ma'am. Yes, Patani sir?
Yes. Actually, we are going to have some program during COVID and after that training modules. So we are inviting some coaches also to participate. 3:30 we have a meetings. So I request Pooja Kurpali for rhythmic side, and
I think stuck ho gaye hain Pathania sir. Noha, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think he's stuck from his internet.
Yes, I think so. But I didn't understand
No, actually the question is regarding for next meeting. He's saying that we have again 3:30 meeting regarding development, how we can develop our gymnastics during this COVID time. So we have a meeting regarding this. So that was the question. So thank you very much, Noha, again and again. So maybe see you soon and wish you a happy Ramadan to you.
I only see one question we didn't answer, just not to show that I didn't answer everybody's questions. For FIC competition, 2 judges are called with the team. This leads to mental pressure on judges with regards to score of their respective teams. Is it possible for FIG to call all judges directly? Unfortunately, this is not possible because this is budget, this is money, and it's very expensive for FIG to call judges every time. And of course, some countries don't want judges invited, rather not have judging from their own country because they feel they need to have judges and they need to have experience. And every judge wants to travel to have experience, to be raised to another level. Without experience, you cannot, because if you remember, we had this pool judges before who you were traveling everywhere, and the other judges didn't have experience in world championships or Olympic games. So this killed a whole generation after. So, but Olympic Games, they are invited. Qualifications for the World Cups next year, superior jury are invited. So whenever there is something major, FIG invites, but normal competitions, it's through federations to give experience, knowledge, because the judge it's her responsibility when she returns back from one competition to say the information she received, and for the coach who was there to say what happened and educate. This is why we allow judges and coaches from different countries and not limit, for example, World Cups to the best 20 countries, because we want everybody to see. So
thank you, Noha. Thank you very much.